Alright guys, so today on Jake's RC Addiction, we're doing something I wanted to do for a while now. The main thing I really wanted to do is, with the Traxxas Sledge, is put it up against the Maxx. Now, I know everyone's putting the Sledge up against the Kraden a lot, and I get it, it's a truggy. But I wanted to do a Traxxas versus Traxxas type of thing. And even though these two aren't really going to be comparable in a lot of reasons, such as like control, handling, things like that, being that one's a truggy, it probably more than likely is going to handle better than the Maxx. So I just want to take that out of this, and what I mean by that is the Sledge handles great for what it is. The Maxx is going to be your more tippy option. It's not going to handle as well, it's not going to take corners as well, because it's a monster truck. It's based off a monster truck, and so that makes sense with that. But I feel like the big question people are going to be asking when they buy these two is, which one do I buy? And the reason they're going to ask that question is because what it really comes down to, guys, is, do you want a monster truck or do you want a truggy? Do you want something you can bash a lot and isn't going to break as easy and you can send high, or do you want something that's going to be more track friendly and going to control really well, but may not be is tough? And now, I'm not saying that the Sledge is not tough or it will not stand up to the Maxx. I am just saying the Maxx is a true and tried platform that's been out for a very long time. Well, not a very long time, but long enough to know. And I just feel like the Sledge hasn't really been around long enough to fully know how tough it's really going to be. I mean, there has been some people that have been buying them, and out of box, some things have broke. I know guys have been ripping off tires. I broke hinge pins. And it's just been a lot of different things going on with them, and that's for an RC to come out. I seen a guy break an arm, and that was probably his own stupid fault, by hitting something or something like that. But when RCs come out, the first run of them is always going to be the weaker version, because Traxxas, Arma, Horizon, Losi, all them guys, Team Associated, when they release an RC, they don't always do the most testing that they should do, because it's one of those things where it's going to be hot right away, so they want to get it out so they can make their money off it. And then I would say an RC stays hot for probably a couple of months at least, until you start seeing them come up for sale used. And when that happens is when the decline happens and things start really going down. Like a Maxx now, I remember for about the first year they came out, and I'm not even talking about the version 2, I'm talking about the original one. If you put a Maxx up for sale, it was gone like nothing. And I'm pretty sure the Sledge would be that way right now too, and you could probably still get pretty close to that box price, that $800 figure brand new, even if you just went and sold it right now. And that's just the way it is with RC. And I mean, it's also got to depend though too, because there's also going to be models that come out that people aren't really as excited about. Just things I've noticed, So anyways, we're going to start with this video, and as I'm driving, I'm going to talk about them and what I think about them and how they do. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you which one I would buy if I could only get one, and why. So, you guys, I'm going to try to be as biased as I can in this video, but as you know, I've had the Maxx a long time. And this is actually not even my original one. This is like probably the 6th or 7th one I've actually had that I've gone through. And it's not because they break on me and I sell them. It's just because I move on to something else and I kind of forget about them. I go, oh, I'll sell that, and then I always end up coming back to it because I decide I want another one because I like the way it was. So that's going to be one of my factors to think about in this video, that if I sold the Sledge today, do I think I would go out and buy another one? So it's just something we're going to kind of talk about, and we're going to talk about price points of these trucks. And as you guys know, the durability on the Maxx has always been solid. I don't think Horizon or Arma makes a vehicle that will stand up to the Maxx, if you want me to be completely honest with you. Even their 4S lineup they had wasn't as tough as the Maxx's, and their 6S lineup I don't believe is even half as tough as the Maxx's. But that's just my opinion, and what I've experienced with things. So it's just something for you to keep in mind. I mean, I'm just your average guy, so I mean, maybe don't take my opinion to heart. And if you want to try an Arma, that's up to you. Maybe you'll have a different experience. Maybe you'll do things differently. Maybe you don't bash as hard as I do, or things like that. And maybe the Arma will be fine for you. But those are just my opinions. And then when we start this video off, I just want to let you guys know that the Sledge is completely box stock. I'm running 6S in it today. and my Maxx is not completely box stock at all. It's got some aluminum goodies on it. It's got the Red Cat Kaijus on it. It's got Mama Monster X ESC in it, 6S, and it has a Castle 2200 kV motor in it. But we are running it on 4S just to keep it true to the 4S platform that it is. I actually haven't ran it on 6S yet. We'll probably soon, but that'll be down the road a little bit. I'm not ready to throw 6S in it yet because I like it on 4S enough. So I'm just gonna set the camera up here off my sidewalk. We're gonna utilize the front yard here with my jump. We're gonna jump them a couple times and things like that. And then when the video is done, we will talk about what I actually think about each one. And if I end up selling one today, would I probably end up going and buying another one? So guys, just so you know, we're starting off with the Maxx first. Just because I've uploaded so many videos of the Sledge lately. So we're going to start off with the Maxx. We're going to get the Maxx here. As you can see, my tires on the Maxx are really check some out on my Maxx. I think I might actually have a bad tire, guys. So the tire's just acting kind of weird on the Maxx. But the Maxx has awesome control on the air. With the system I got right here, it's got awesome power. Even with the stock system, actually, I never found myself really having an issue with the Maxx. Guys, about the Maxx is you got to be a lot more careful when you're cornering and things like that. Because Maxx likes to tip a lot, guys. It's ridiculous how much it actually tips, even with the lighting on it. Check something out with the Maxx here real quick. Alright guys, so that is going to be it for the Maxx. Give you a little dash section there. Nothing too great. Nothing too special. But just wanted to do some driving around with it. To show you what the Maxx is like. Just in this comparison video. If you guys are interested in longer videos of me watching me beat the crap out of Maxxes, I have tons of videos on my YouTube of me bashing Maxxes and just absolutely setting them. as far as they would go. So I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna get the sledge loaded up, not loaded up, but ready, and then we're gonna run it. All right, guys. So now we're gonna let the sledge have its turn. I'm probably gonna run it as long as I can until my hand dies. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get that done, and then we'll talk about them. So right off the bat, you can already tell the Sledge has tons more power than the Max. The Sledge is also running a 2000 kV motor, which is a new motor for Traxxas, which is awesome for Traxxas that they actually made up another new platform. And came up with a new motor for it. Alright guys, so I'm back. I got the camera plugged in. Hopefully we didn't wreck any footage with that. But yeah, I really like this Sledge. But if I'm being completely honest with you, I'm not a big truggy person. I haven't had a lot of truggies. The only other truggy I've had is the Armor Trade-In. And it wasn't a good experience for me when I had the Armor Trade-In. I had a lot of issues with it. I had some diff issues. And that's the main reason why I don't have it nowadays, is just because of the diff issues I have with it, so I fixed it. I put diffs in it over and over again. This thing's got so much power, it's ridiculous. And that's the thing, is a lot of aspects of this reminds me of the Kraden, but I really feel like I have more control when I drive this than when I drove my Kraden. If that makes sense. I feel like it's got a lot, this car handles a lot better than my Kraden did. And my dad actually just bought a Kraden because he wanted one, but he wanted to kind of be able to compare with me and stuff when we drive and whatnot. But I might try to get his Kraden from him for a day and actually do a comparison side by side. But I don't feel like I've had the Sledge long enough to be able to say whether it's tough or not. I mean, so far in my head it's not, because I already had to put hinge pins in it. But that's just the thing, is I had to put hinge pins in it right away. The hinge pins that came in it were soft as brittle. They broke right away. Oh crap. So now I gotta grab the truck, so I'm gonna go do that. But guys, I will have a video on the Sledge coming soon. I will do a full review on it. I'll tell you my thoughts completely on it. But I will say that this thing usually lands on its feet, which is really nice when driving it. See right there, just landed on its feet. I went halfway up the ramp. But this thing's power is just crazy. The power this truck has, it's amazing. And it flies through the air, guys, really nice. See, look at that. This flies nice. You got so much air control with it. Why it's tough. I'll do a backflip for you guys real quick. And this ain't even like gonna be high. Oh no, not that time. Sorry. This time I'll do it. We'll just go off the ramp really slow. Look at that. Just easy. Just easy peasy with this thing. Just the control you have with it is ridiculous. guys, I feel like this video is just getting a little bit long. I drove the Sledge a lot longer than I did the Max. That's because I'm sure if you've been around RC for a while, you've watched tons of videos of the Max. And you probably watched tons of videos on the Sledge, but I don't think I've seen too many where people tried to compare them and put them in one video together. And that's what I was trying to do here, because I feel like these two trucks are going to be people's best options when it comes to buying new big bashers. In a sense of that, meaning that when it comes to going to the RC shop, you're looking for things, or looking at things that you're going to see the Max and the Sledge, and you go, oh wow, cool. And maybe the Revo 2.0 will be in there too. The Revo 2.0 is a pretty cool truck too, with the cantilever suspension and stuff. But I feel like these two will be Traxxas' probably best sellers for big bashers, just being they're the newest that they've came out with, not including the X-Max. The X-Max is a whole nother animal in the Sledge. Those are two I wouldn't even compare. It's not worth it. But anyways, so if you look, you can kind of see the way the Max, or sorry, the Sledge is set up. And you have a full metal chassis underneath. And then the shocks on the Sledge are actually the same ones as the ones on the Max, which is it's kind of funny when you think about it. But so here's an overlook of the Sledge, and here's an overlook of the Max. Now, as you guys see, you can kind of make a conclusion there on when I was driving it, that the Sledge is a lot more better handling. You'll notice that the Max, I tip it over a lot when I'm driving it, and it's not on purpose. It's just I'll go to steer and I think I'm going slow enough, and the truck will just tip over. It's just the way the Max is. It's just the kind of truck and the nature of it that it is it tips. I mean, it tips a lot, guys. But it is a good truck. The Max is a very good, tough truck that has proven itself over the years that it's been out. So right now, if I'm going to vote on toughness, I would say the Max is probably the tougher truck out of these two, just because it's been around longer, it's had more testing done, and I've never really broken anything on my Maxes besides one bulkhead over like the 4 years or 3 years or however long they've been out I've had them. So that's just something to keep in mind. If we're going to talk about batteries in these trucks, the Traxxas Max, when it comes new, you're only able to run a single 4S, or if you wanna try, you could probably run two 2S's if you bought a splitter and things to do that, or a parallel connector to do that. You probably could, but the truck comes ready to run one 4S battery. And now the things that really suck about these trucks is their battery trays. The Sledge's battery tray is just like every other Traxxas they make, in the sense that it's only set up for like Traxxas packs or really slim packs, because that's what Traxxas makes. So you have to have special battery packs to run in the Sledge. And even my 4S, my Power Hobby 8000 won't fit in there, but my Gen 8 Basher 4S does. That's the battery I ran in my last video when we ran this truck, guys, and it did a good job. But the only problem I had was that this was really smushing the connectors down on the top here through the thing, so I wasn't a huge fan of that. So I may end up cutting that mount out some to be able to fit that battery better if I decide to run that battery more. But otherwise, I probably just won't run it. It's that simple. I think you might also be able to fit a 4S sideways on this thing, so I might actually try that too. I haven't tried that yet. But that's just something else to keep in mind, guys, when you're buying a Traxxas nowadays, is that their battery trays are weird on all of them. It's not just one truck or the other truck. They're all weird. Traxxas does that purposely, so you have to buy their batteries, or they're trying to sell you their batteries. But most of the time you can go on Amazon, or you can go on eBay, or you can go on AMAN, or you can go on anywhere, and you can find batteries that'll fit just fine. But your local hobby shop will probably try to sell you Traxxas batteries, which really, if you're looking for an easy system, Traxxas batteries are actually a pretty good system to start with. If you don't want to deal with like a computer charger and stuff, you want to just be able to plug them in and charge them and be done with it. So I mean, depending on who you are, you know, Traxxas batteries may not be a bad bet for you if you're starting out in the hobby. There are some things though that do concern me about these two, and the comparison here I'm doing. One of the biggest things is that the Sledge is a really expensive truck, and when I say that, I mean that the Sledge right now out of the store is $800. You can go buy a stock Max out of the store for about $569. And now, don't get me wrong, my Maxx has a lot of money into it. I've probably got about $900,000 into it the way it sits right now. If you're to price everything out that's on it, including my radio system that I'm running in it. But I'll be running that radio system in this one too eventually, in the Sledge. But I think the funny thing is that the Maxx and the Sledge actually come with the same tire stock. They both have sledgehammers on them. And the sledgehammers on the Maxx are a little bit smaller. They're going to be your LP size, so they're not going to be as big type of a deal. The Maxx is also a full plastic chassis underneath, and the Sledge is metal, so that's something else to keep in mind. Personally, I don't mind plastic chassis. I've never had an issue running plastic chassis. They always hold up good for me. I've never snapped a chassis on a Maxx. I've snapped one bulkhead. I think I took out a steering block once. And I've broken plastic axles, of course, but that's why my Maxx has metal axles. So really, to make the Maxx a solid truck, you need about $569, and you need to add about another $100 of that to put metal axles in it. If you have the new version 2 that comes with the wide Maxx kit. So, just something for you to keep in mind. But so far, my Sledge, guys, has been solid besides one hinge pin coming breaking. And I don't know for sure if it was actually the fault of the hinge pin, or if it was because my O-ring wasn't in the back cup on the differential side, and it just let the shaft move enough and the shaft pulled out and maybe snapped the pin itself, and the arm didn't break but the pin did. So just something to think about there. I did end up putting X-Max hinge pins in the rear of this, the RPM ones that have the bolt through them, and the nut on the end to make it life a little bit better. So that's what I got to say for you guys. What it's really going to come down to is whether you want better handling or you want a monster truck that's crazy is really the thing to think about when it comes to these two trucks, because the Maxx isn't going to be the best handling thing out there just because it is a monster truck based chassis system. That just it's going to be a better basher though, I think, overall than the Sledge. Maxx has been around a really long time, so just something to think about. The Sledge is going to be a fun truck though, I will tell you that much, guys. So depending on what one you want to get is going to be up to you. But right now, now that I have the Sledge, I'm almost debating getting rid of my Maxx, but I don't think I will. I'll keep the Maxx around because I really like the Maxx, and my nephew likes the Maxx, so he can run it when he comes over. And we'll end up doing some upgrades on the Sledge, guys, when the stuff comes out and we can actually get to it. But I will be putting a different radio system in it, but that'll come sooner than later. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like and subscribe. And I want to hear what you guys think down below. If you own both these trucks, what one you like more and which one you actually enjoy driving more. Thank you guys very much. Have a good day, and I hope to hear from you soon.